Hello everyone, welcome to CodeSkwela. Today we are going to explore one of MudBlazor's components. This component caught my attention just recently because I was going through what else I could use from the wide variety of MudBlazor components that are being offered. And so I came across this uh, component which is named drop zone. So this is their documentation page, and right now we're looking at one of the examples that are available uh, to us as part of their showcase. So it's a chessboard. Here you can play chess. It's actually very nice, right? As you can see, you can click and drag the pieces, and so yeah, this is something. Although I think it doesn't quite uh, follow the uh, actual rules of chess, but somehow it shows you the capabilities of what you can do with this drop zone component. So yeah, this is kind of neat. It's very cool that uh, MudBlazor has this kind of component available for us. So let's just go through the features and functions that it currently offers. And so one of the basic usage of drop zone is looking at this example is you have these two different uh, sections or boxes wherein there are items on each boxes, and then you can actually drag these items between the two boxes. For example, like this one that says drag me, then you just click and drag it to the drop zone 2 box. Okay, as you can see, that drag me item or rectangular box gets moved on to the other box or the drop zone 2. Okay, so let's look at how we can use the drop zone. So uh, internally, the drop zone is called container. Okay, this is the name of the component, and then from here you can specify the different drop zones. So within this child component, you have this mud drop zone that you can use to set up the different zones that you can use to allow drag and drop functionality. Okay, so in this case you have two. So each one is named with each with its own name, which is, I think, the property or attribute will be named as identifier, and then you specify the name. So this one is called drop zone 1 for the left side, and then drop zone 2 for the right side. So I think as easy as this uh, simple code, then you can immediately start using the drag and drop function. Okay, so I think one of the things that you also need to set up is the items. So the things that will be contained within your drop zone that would let you do the drag and drop. Okay, so in this case, it says here you set the items, which is underscore items would be this one. So it's just a list of drop item. Okay, you specify the name and then the identifier, and from each of these, so within your drop zone, you can specify the uh, layout of that drop zone. Okay, in this case, identifying or setting up the title or header, and then yeah, so that's it. What else can we do? Okay, so there's also this nested drop zone. So you can nest drop zones. Again, following the example here, of course, you need to use the container, and within it, you specify your different drop zones. Okay, so I think that's why it's called nested, is because this one drop zone here, and then the other one would be a drop zone here also. Okay, that's probably why it's called okay, I see what it means now. So you have your drop zone here on the outermost, and then another mud drop container inside it as a child content. Okay, so I guess that's what it meant by nested. Right. again, you can switch or drag items between the drop zones. Okay, just like this. What else? This one is an example of the different boxes. Okay, so what else? Reorder items. So you can drag and drop within the same drop zone or to other drop zones. Okay. Load data. Let's see. Let's see this one. Save reorder. Okay. Save data. Okay. So this one somehow uh, the items are being uh, persisted. Okay. So if you want to uh, click the reset example, then yeah, everything gets reset. Okay. This one says only zone. So the drop zone will only act as a droppable zone and not render any items. Okay, so let's say this one. So we click and drag this untitled document item to, let's say, propaganda. Ah, so zone meaning if you set the only zone property to true, then it's just a zone. It doesn't display anything from the dropped item. Okay, it's like this. Yeah. Okay. So the other feature is drop rules. So if a draggable item can be dropped or not be controlled with the can drop function either globally in the mud drop container or per drop zone. So let's try this one. Yes, you can drop this post bin and an appeal. Ah, I see. So let's look at the code. So how do you uh, specify some logic whether a drop zone can accept a dropped item? So you specify the can drop uh, attribute. So looking at the code, it has, so each of the drop zone has this can drop attribute wherein you can pass a logic that would basically evaluate into a boolean value. Okay, so I guess if the value is true, then it would accept that uh, dropped item, or else it would just not allow any of those items to get dropped on the drop zone. Okay, so like let's say trash bin, yeah, paper bag, moldy bread, yeah. So not everything. So yeah, you can with this example, it shows a segregation of the different garbage items. So yeah, only specific items go to specific drop zones. So in this case, like for compost bin, you can only drop like any biodegradable items. Okay, in this case, so trash bin. All right. Okay, that's a good one. So which means that you can specify additional logic whether a drop zone uh, receives or denies a dropped object or item. Okay, another feature would be drop rule styling. So let's see. Ah, okay. As you can see, you drag things around, the the look of the different drop zones changes. Okay, so which means that you can specify the can drop class or the no drop class. Okay, so with this one, you see that the border is turned into green, then you can drop it. But here, I guess this one is set as the no drop class. So if a drop item is denied, then it has a different styling. So in this case, you have your uh, dotted broken line border in red. Okay, let's look at the code. So looking at the code here, so it says, let's see, we can see. Okay, I think it's specified on the mud drop container itself, and then you can set the ah. So here it is. So you can set the drop can drop class or no drop class. Okay. That's how you set this styling. Okay. Drag overrides. Behavior can be customized to control which elements are draggable as well as how the source zone and items are styled during drag operation. Yeah, the other one would be dragging styles. Let's see. Okay. So you can also change the look of a dragged item. Okay, like this one, you see? So if you drag this item, the text becomes red and then the background color would change. The file section, yeah, it highlights also that section. And then the folder section would be changed, the text would change to blue. And then, yeah. So to specify the style while dragging, I think, would be you set the dragging class and then the item dragging class. Okay. So what else? Custom handle, drag handle. So let's see the example. Okay. Right. So as you can see, different zones have different looks for when you try to drag an item. So in this case, it turns to blue. This one turns to a different color. This one, yeah. This one also turns to a different color, and the drop zone itself changes also, changes its look. Okay, so you specify the mud drag handle. Is this a okay? So this one is a component. So you specify a mud drag handle component that would uh, specify the look of your drag handle, or the way when you drag stuff from the items, right? Just like that. Okay. So you use this mud drag handle component. So there's also this stuff where you can disable the draggable items, so which means that you can't drag them. Same as this one. You see that this file 346.txt aren't enabled. You can't click on them and drag, right? So you just set the item disabled property. Let's look at the code quickly. All right. So where do you set that? Item disabled. Okay. All right. So it's here. Item disabled. Okay. So this one based on the uh okay. So if an item is locked, say okay. So based again on the source items. So yeah. And then lastly, I think we've reached the end of this documentation. And so it has several examples. So one of which is I've already shown you in the beginning, the chessboard one. So the other one would be a Kanban board. So this is a Kanban board. If you've been working with software projects, one of the ways to track progress or task is using a Kanban board. So I guess this one looks like the one that you on Jira, or let's say if you've been using Azure DevOps, wherein you can drag and drop uh, tickets in between the different stages of your development. So this one clearly uh, resembles that kind of workflow or software. So it is a Kanban board. Basically, you can drag items between processes, add task, right, like that, add task. Yeah, that's good. So if you want to, maybe if you want to build your own Kanban board, instead of just buying or subscribing to like Jira, then you can, I think it's possible using this example here. So this is great actually. It shows us the capabilities of the drop zone component, or in this case, the mud drop container component. And then the other one example is the mailbox. So again, this is kind of a different layout, but again, you can drag and drop, right? And then it also has conditions, and if you click on that, yeah, you can see the contents of the items being dragged to the different inboxes. So this one resembles a sort of like a mailbox UI. If you're familiar with Outlook, so this one uh, uh, mimics, or yeah, implements that kind of UI, right? And again, lastly, the chessboard, which is great. Yeah. All right. This seems very cool though. Yeah. Although you can, yeah, there's not enough logic for it to like follow the actual chess pieces, the logic of the chess pieces. But anyways, yeah, this drop zone component is actually very clever. I've already been thinking of trying to do a project for this one, which is like say a form builder wherein we can if you want to create a form input, you can just click drag and drop the different sections of your form, like accepting a text box, a checkbox, or a drop down. So yeah, I don't know if there's some like Google Forms, I guess. What an existing example is like you have your Google Forms like that. So probably I'll do a project on that one wherein uh, we will do a form builder type of application. So yeah, just stay tuned for that one. Hopefully, I get to work on that soon in the uh, next few days. But anyways, yeah, I think this has been quite a very wonderful component to use. So although I haven't actually used this yet in any of my projects, but I'm gonna do an exercise for this one, and hopefully get to share that one in our future episodes. But yeah, let me know what you think of this component. What other stuff can you think of that would be useful in your projects that lets you use this drop zone component? All right. So yeah, I think that uh, wraps up our exploration for this component for this episode. But yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to get updated with our latest videos. And yeah, I hope to see you soon again in our next episode, and have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.